The International Space Station is one of the most amazing places ever built by humans. It travels around Earth at a speed of almost 28,000 kilometers per hour and makes a full circle every 90 minutes. That means the astronauts on board see the sunrise and sunset many times a day, much more than we do here on Earth. For most of us, space is something we only see in pictures or movies, but for astronauts, it is their home. Living in the ISS is not just about floating in zero gravity. It is about following a routine, doing experiments, staying healthy, and learning how humans can survive away from Earth. In this video, we will explore what daily life is really like for an astronaut living in the International Space Station. Morning in space feels very different from morning on Earth. Astronauts do not wake up to the sound of birds or the smell of breakfast. Instead, they wake up to the gentle hum of machines that keep the station alive. Since the ISS goes around Earth every hour and a half, the astronauts see 16 sunrises each day. To keep life organized, they follow a schedule based on Coordinated Universal Time, or UTC. This helps them wake up, eat, work, and sleep at regular hours, even though outside their window, the sun may rise and set again and again. After waking up, astronauts begin their daily hygiene routine. Something as simple as brushing your teeth becomes a little strange in space. They use a small pouch of water, squeeze out a drop, and stick it to their toothbrush. The toothpaste can be swallowed, since spitting is not possible in zero gravity. Washing the face is also different. Instead of splashing water, astronauts use a wet cloth or rinseless wipes. Showers do not exist on the ISS because water would float away in tiny droplets and damage the equipment. Every drop of water on the station is valuable, so they use it carefully and recycle most of it. Once freshened up, astronauts get dressed. Their clothes look normal, like t-shirts, shorts, or pants, but they are made to be lightweight and easy to use in space. Since there is no washing machine, each piece of clothing is worn for several days and then packed away as trash, which later burns up when released from the station. It may sound unusual, but astronauts quickly get used to this way of living. With the morning routine done, it is time to check in with mission control on Earth and prepare for the busy day ahead. Life in the ISS may seem exciting, but it also requires discipline, structure, and teamwork, starting from the very first hour after waking up. After finishing their morning routine, astronauts begin their main work for the day. Life on the ISS is not just about floating around and looking at Earth. It is also about doing important tasks that help science and make future space travel possible. Each astronaut has a schedule planned in detail by mission control. This schedule tells them exactly what experiment or activity they should do and when to do it. A big part of their work is running scientific experiments. The International Space Station is a special place because it gives scientists a chance to study things in microgravity, where objects float and are almost weightless. For example, astronauts grow plants to see how they develop without gravity pulling their roots down. These experiments help us learn how to grow food in space for future missions to the Moon or Mars. They also test how the human body changes when living in space for a long time. This research is important because it shows us how to keep astronauts healthy far from Earth. Apart from science, astronauts also take care of the station itself. The ISS is like a huge spaceship, and just like a house, it needs regular maintenance. Astronauts check equipment, repair broken parts, and make sure that life support systems are working. These systems provide clean air, safe water, and the right temperature to live in. Even a small problem in space can be serious, so checking everything carefully is part of their daily job. Astronauts also spend time talking with mission control. They report their progress, ask for instructions, and sometimes get quick changes to their tasks. This teamwork between space and Earth is what makes living on the ISS possible. By the end of the work session, astronauts might have done experiments, fixed machines, and shared information with scientists on Earth. Their daily work may look normal on paper, but in reality, it is work that could change the future of space exploration. Life in space may look fun, but it also brings big challenges to the human body. On Earth, gravity pulls us down and our muscles and bones work all the time to keep us standing, walking, and moving. In space, there is no gravity to push against, so the body starts to weaken. Muscles shrink, and bones lose strength. To stay healthy, astronauts must exercise every single day. Each astronaut spends about 2 hours on exercise. They do not have a normal gym like we do on Earth, but the ISS is equipped with special machines made for zero gravity. One of these is a treadmill. On Earth, we run and our feet naturally stay on the ground, but in space, the astronaut would just float away. To solve this, they wear a harness with straps that hold them down to the treadmill while they run. Another machine is the stationary bicycle. It looks like a regular bike, but it does not have a seat, because sitting does not really make sense in zero gravity. Instead, the astronaut straps their feet to the pedals and pushes against them while floating in the air. It looks unusual, but it gives the same benefits as cycling on Earth. The most important equipment is the resistance machine. This works like a weightlifting system, but without real weights. Since weights do not exist in space, the machine uses vacuum cylinders to create resistance. Astronauts use it to do squats, deadlifts, and bench presses, which are important for keeping both muscles and bones strong. Exercise is not only about physical health. It also helps astronauts feel good mentally. Living in a small space for months can be stressful, and regular exercise gives them energy, reduces stress, and makes them feel more connected to their life back on Earth. By exercising every day, astronauts protect their bodies from the harmful effects of space. This routine is one of the reasons why humans can live on the ISS for months at a time and return home strong enough to walk again on Earth. Food is another important part of daily life on the International Space Station. Eating in space may sound easy, but without gravity, it becomes a challenge. On Earth, food stays on the plate, and drinks stay in a cup. In space, everything floats away. A spoonful of soup would drift into the air, and water would turn into floating bubbles. That is why astronauts eat specially prepared meals that are safe and easy to handle in zero gravity. Most food comes in sealed packages. Some of it is dehydrated, which means all the water has been removed. To eat it, astronauts add hot or cold water using a special machine and wait a few minutes for the food to become soft again. Other meals are ready to eat and only need to be warmed. The food is packed in plastic bags or cans that can be opened with scissors. Astronauts use Velcro or magnets to keep their spoons and forks from floating away. The menu includes a wide variety of options like pasta, rice, chicken, beef, vegetables, and even desserts. NASA and other space agencies try to provide food that is both healthy and tasty. However, food in space does not taste exactly the same as on Earth. Microgravity changes the way fluids move in the body, and astronauts often feel like they have a blocked nose. This makes their sense of taste weaker, so they sometimes prefer spicy or strong-flavored food. Drinks are also packaged in special pouches with straws that have valves, so the liquid does not escape. Astronauts drink water, juice, tea, and coffee. Interestingly, most of the water they drink is recycled from the air and even from their own sweat and urine. While this may sound strange, the system cleans the water so well that it becomes even purer than tap water on Earth. Every now and then, astronauts get bonus food or special treats sent from Earth in cargo ships. These packages often include fruits, sweets, or favorite snacks, which bring comfort and joy during long missions. Sharing these treats with crewmates helps them feel closer to home. In the end, meals in space are more than just about staying alive. They are about keeping the astronauts healthy, giving them energy for their work, and providing small moments of comfort in an environment far away from Earth. Even though astronauts spend many hours working, they also get free time to relax and enjoy themselves. Life on the ISS is busy, but having moments of rest is very important for mental health. Free time helps astronauts feel less lonely and keeps them connected to normal life. One of the favorite activities is looking out the window. The ISS has a special observation area called the cupola. From there, astronauts can see Earth like no one else can. They watch oceans, mountains, deserts, and even cities glowing at night. Many astronauts say that seeing Earth from space changes the way they think about our planet. It makes them realize how small and fragile it really is. Astronauts also spend their free time in simple, fun ways. They read books, watch movies, listen to music, or play games. Since they have internet access, they can also send emails or talk with their families through video calls. These conversations are very important because they remind them of home and reduce the feeling of isolation. Sometimes astronauts make videos to share their life with people on Earth. They show how things work in zero gravity, answer questions from students, or take part in live events. These activities not only give them a break but also inspire millions of people around the world. Free time can also include hobbies. Some astronauts like photography, and space gives them the best view for it. Others enjoy drawing, writing journals, or even playing musical instruments that are sent to the station. These small activities bring comfort and creativity to life in space. Although their free time is limited, astronauts value it deeply. In those quiet moments, floating by a window or laughing with their crewmates, they find peace in an environment that is so far from home. It is a reminder that even in space, humans need balance between work and rest. Life on the International Space Station may sound exciting, but it also comes with many challenges. Living in space is not natural for the human body, and astronauts have to face problems that most of us never think about on Earth. One of the biggest challenges is microgravity. In space, without gravity pulling everything down, the body starts to change. Muscles become weaker because they are not used as much, and bones lose calcium, making them fragile. Astronauts also experience swelling in their face because body fluids move differently in zero gravity. Over time, this can affect their eyesight and overall health. That is why daily exercise and medical checkups are so important on the ISS. Another challenge is the psychological effect of living far from Earth. Astronauts spend months in a small, closed space, away from family and friends. The same faces, the same rooms, and the same routine can sometimes feel overwhelming. To stay mentally strong, astronauts keep busy, enjoy their free time, and have regular video calls with loved ones. Teamwork and friendship with crewmates also play a big role in keeping spirits high. Astronauts must also be ready to deal with emergencies. Space is not a safe place, and even small dangers can become life-threatening. For example, a fire, a sudden loss of air pressure, or a toxic leak could put the entire crew at risk. That is why astronauts train for months before going to space, practicing how to handle every possible emergency. Space debris is another risk. Tiny pieces of metal or rock, traveling at very high speeds, can damage the station. The ISS is built with strong shielding, but in rare cases, astronauts have to move to a safe part of the station or even prepare to return to Earth. Despite these challenges, astronauts continue to live and work in space because the knowledge gained is so valuable. Every difficulty they face teaches us how to make space travel safer and helps prepare humans for future missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. After a long day of work, exercise, and communication with Earth, astronauts need to rest. Sleep is just as important in space as it is on Earth because it helps the body recover and keeps the mind sharp. But nighttime on the International Space Station is very different from what we know. Since the ISS orbits Earth every 90 minutes, astronauts see 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets each day. If they tried to follow the natural light outside their windows, their sleep would be completely disturbed. To solve this, they follow a strict schedule set by mission control. Lights inside the station are dimmed to create a sense of night, even when the sun is shining outside. Astronauts do not sleep in beds. Instead, they use special sleeping bags that are attached to the walls or ceilings of their small cabins. In microgravity, up and down do not really exist, so it does not matter if they sleep vertically or horizontally. Once inside the sleeping bag, they zip themselves up so they do not float away during the night. The cabins are about the size of a phone booth. Each one has a small door, some personal items, and sometimes a laptop or music player. It is the only private space an astronaut has on the station, so it feels very important to them. Many astronauts say it feels comforting to have their own little corner in such a big and unusual environment. Sleeping in space also feels different. Some astronauts enjoy the floating feeling and find it very relaxing. Others take time to adjust because there is no weight pressing down on the body like on Earth. To help with sleep, astronauts sometimes use eye masks, earplugs, or calming music. On average, they try to get about 8 hours of sleep each night. A good night's rest makes sure they are ready for another day of important work. Just like on Earth, sleep in space is a reminder that no matter how advanced technology becomes, humans still need simple, natural routines to stay healthy. Life on the International Space Station is unlike anything on Earth. Every day, astronauts wake up to a world of floating routines, scientific experiments, careful teamwork, and breathtaking views of our planet. They face challenges that test both their bodies and their minds, yet they continue because their work is shaping the future of space exploration. Living in space is not only about survival. It is about discovery, learning how humans can adapt, and preparing for the day when we may travel even farther, to the Moon, to Mars, and maybe one day beyond our solar system. The ISS shows us what is possible when nations work together and when people are willing to leave behind comfort to push the limits of what humans can do. For the astronauts, every sunrise from space is a reminder of how beautiful and fragile Earth really is. And for us, their journey is a window into a future where space may not just be a place to visit, but a place to live. So, when you think about the life of an astronaut in the ISS, remember it is more than floating in zero gravity. It is about dedication, science, courage, and hope for the future. Someday, perhaps, the experience of living in space may not belong only to astronauts, it might be part of the story of humanity itself.